Welcome back to AndyTube and this beautiful turquoise Singer Model 338. I call it turquoise because in the service manual, a description, they always give a description of the machine and the functions at the beginning of the service manual, and they call it turquoise. Before I had heard it called green blue and green, and I just saw today looking on eBay, there's a couple for sale and they're calling them sea foam green, but I think I'm going to stick with turquoise. But anyway, I just finished up my pre-cleaning and pre-treating with the Krud Kutter degreaser, and I just put some full strength into a little cup, and I use a old nylon toothbrush. And I also have a couple of what I call detail brushes. This was a 99-cent store, two for 99 cents. And this one over here is made out of brass bristles, and this is steel. And for getting into the area around the worm gear and camp stack gear and so forth, these are really great. So what I would do is take a little paintbrush and dip it in the full strength Krud Kutter, brush it on the areas. I did that a couple times and just let it sit there, and then after lunch I came back and started scrubbing with my toothbrush and these detail brushes, and then soaking up everything with old used paper towels, and that way you get the heavier stuff out of here. Now usually when I do this restoration, I take the motor and the switch and all the electrical wiring and the light completely out of the machine, and I really hate doing that on these 337, 347, 413s, 457s, because it's time consuming and meticulous, disconnecting all the parts of the light fixture and trying not to break the little soldered on copper springs at the end, and dismantling. See if I can get over here closer. So as you can see, what I've done this time is I took some Ziploc bags and cut the zip part off and wrapped it all up, and then I've done my best to seal it with electrical tape, which I also bought for 99 cents. And over here at the switch and the motor, I have done the same thing. I took a gallon Ziploc and I cut the zip off, and I've got the plug type connection and the whole motor wrapped up in here and then sealed with electrical tape. And then by taking that washer off for the light switch, I've done the same thing with sandwich size bags, wrapped it all up with plastic and sealed it, the ends, with tape. And I'm going to try this because I think it'll work, and I think it's going to be a lot just as effective at cleaning everything, but it's going to be a lot less time consuming. And I just really dread putting that light back in there, and it's, to me, hard to get in and tricky, and sometimes I've broken off the little spring on the end of the wire and had to re-solder it, and so I'm going to try this method as a little quicker method and see how it goes. On the 301, the 401, 403, 404, the 500s, and 600s, I can pull the whole enclosed motor out, take the light fixture off the front, snip the wire, pull it out. When I go to put it back, it all just mounts so quick, and I splice the two wires together, and it's like, boom, I'm done. And the light switch is built right on the light housing, unlike this one. and you know, it's right on the front. So anyway, that's my intention with this, and now I'm going to use it, use my whole body cleaning method to degrease this whole machine. And afterwards I'll come back and I'll show it to you. I've got to wash it literally and dry it. You know, I spray the Krud Kutter all over it and rinse it off with a garden hose, and then I take a leaf blower to dry it. And at the end of the video here, I'll put links to the other videos on my channel showing that in detail, the whole process. But I don't have the time or inclination to do it again with every machine, but I filmed it a couple times, and I'll give you links to that, or you can find it on my channel, the 337 and the 404 models. But I'm real interested because this went pretty quick. You know, this taking the motor out and the switch and the light and wrapping it up took less than 10 minutes, and I usually spend almost that just on taking the light apart. Then I got to take the switch apart and maneuver all the parts around through the machine to get it out of there. So I'm excited to try it, and I'll be back to show you how it looks after my cleaning method with Krud Kutter. Wow, doesn't she look great? Okay, I did my full body wash of this machine, and she cleaned up really good. And I say she because she told me her name. She shared her name with me. It usually happens someplace along the line in the restoration, and in this case I guess it was only fair. I mean, if you're going to strip somebody down and wash her, you should be on a first name basis. So I'll share her name with you later in the series. But my method with wrapping up the electrical parts, the motor and the switch and the plug and the light fixture, wow, it really worked great. It worked great. I'm real happy with it. I would say that about 1/4 of a teaspoon of water leaked in around the motor, right up around the, like in the plastic where I had it all wrapped up. So I'm just really happy with that it's going to be quicker for me. And after I gave her a blow dry with the leaf blower, then I usually do a first general oiling of the machine to prevent any flash rust. And I tried a new way of doing that too. And this is still the Tri-Flow Superior lubricant, but it's a spray bottle. It's a 12-ounce spray bottle, and it comes with a tube. But I did that. First I put the tube on there and tried to kind of spot it around, but the force was way too much. I took the tube off and just sprayed it, but wow, it comes out fast. So I just kind of did a general spray, avoiding the gears, but of the most of the metal parts and the bobbin area and the nose end and the top and bottom. And then I used my regular drip bottle to go into all the bushings to get some fresh oil in there, because I don't want any rust coming around there, you know. And so that saved a little bit of time, but the force was just too much for me. I think I'll just stick with my brush again in the future. Take a little longer, but it's more controllable. And I really don't like getting oil on gears. Only grease on metal gears and nothing on plastic gears. So anyway, you won't be able to see much the way this is set up, but wow, did it really come out nice. I am just thrilled with my new method. And then, oops, I got some oil dripping down here now. And then what I'm going to do is just clean up this work area a little bit here, and I'll take some still pictures like I did the pictures before of all the grease and everything on the machine. I'll take some still pictures now that it's cleaned up before I reassemble everything, and I'll add them onto the end of the video. And don't forget, at the very end of the video I'll give some links to the videos I did of washing and drying the whole body. But like I said, if you look at the, wow, look how clean that is now. No grease at all. Wow. The still shots will show that a lot better. But I'll give you links to those, but you can just look at the playlist on the channels, and there's a playlist of 50-some videos on the Model 404, and there's a playlist of like 30 or so on the Model 337, the little sister to this sister. So let me clean this area up, and I'll take the still photos and I'll add them on the end, and at the very end I'll give you the links. Thanks so much for tuning in to my channel and seeing what I'm up to with this 338, and I hope that you will come back as I continue on with this model. We still got a ways to go with this lady. Take care.